Hey everybody. So it's my test run, my very first test run on the brand new 572 XP. Running a 32-inch. It's the Husqvarna Xtough Lite bar, so it's lighter. I think they say it's 15% lighter. I'm used to running, just to give you guys some background, I'm used to running steel 038s, 44s, 056, 064, 084. And then I bought a Husqvarna, a 371 XP, brand new back in 1999, and it runs freaking great. It still runs great today, but of course you have to upgrade on occasion. So my experience, and then I got a Husqvarna 395 that I don't have much time on it, so we'll do that another day. But the 572 XP was the one I really wanted to get and try in long-term use. You know, it's all OEM. There's no muffler mods, nothing like that. I got the West Coast dogs put on there for obvious reasons, and the wrap handlebar for obvious reasons. Did a lot of falling, hazard tree falling during my firefighting days, and I fell in love with the Husqvarna after being introduced to the 371 a long time ago, and just knew that was the saw. I mean, I love the steels, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful saws, high performance professional saws, there's no doubt. But just like we all get particular, I love my Husqvarnas. It just fits me well. It's a high performance saw, and it just works. What else? So these were pretty big rounds. These are 32, a little bit longer, maybe 34-inch, some of them, and super knotty, as you can see, and had to cross cut those. I didn't bring my maul out, which I should have. So I had to cross cut those to get through it with my regular axe, and no big deal. I mean, I'm here to play with the saw, so it's a beautiful saw. I mean, I can't say enough about it already. I only got 30-40 minutes on it, and gas consumption is good, real good. It's definitely better than the 372, the 371 that I had or have. The bar, as far as oiling, it does fine. It handles the 32-inch incredibly easy. I mean, if I was out falling timber like I used to, I wouldn't have a problem putting a 36 on it. Yes, you'd have to be a little more careful on the throttle with that, or heavy on the throttle, I should say. But as far as the 32, no big deal. So I got this saw with a 24-inch and a 32. I'll probably just keep the 32 on it. It makes it easier. You don't have to bend down to cut things. You know, you can, if you're used to bucking and stuff, you can do it with just standing up and not getting too bent over, if you can avoid it. But other than that, I mean, it's a good saw. You know, you can see the knots and stuff that I was cutting through. It didn't have much of a problem. So I wish I would have brought the 395 out to do the ripping, to cross cut these things, but didn't do that. It'll be next time. But definitely happy with the saw, incredibly happy. The one thing I did too is I highlighted took a permanent marker and marked the falling lines there, the sights a little bit better, just on that cover side there. I don't know, I just love it. It's a great saw. If you're on the fence about getting one, and you're used to running a pro saw, or you want to get a pro saw, the 572, in my opinion, is where it's at, because you could run a 20, 24, 28 easy if you don't need a bigger bar. But if you need a 32, no big deal. It does it quite well. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, you got any comments, stuff like that, go for it. Yeah, anyways, it's a great saw. Can't say enough about it. Husqvarna did a great job with it. Almost bought the 372, the newer version of the 371, but this auto tune's nice. I live up at 5,400 feet right now. I'm at around 6,000 feet, and it tunes nice. I take my 371. Sometimes if I go up about 7,000, you know, she still performs quite well, but you could tell it's struggling, and I don't always bring the tuning screw to do the carb, and I don't want to mess with all that stuff if I don't have to. So it runs okay, but this thing adjusted fine, and for the first maiden voyage, man, I'm stoked. She's good. Anyways, you guys, take care, be safe, and talk to you next time.